the recording. Okay, go ahead and continue from where you left off.
So when I started screaming at them that no one's going to be hitting anyone anymore, the man turns around and says, I didn't hit anyone. And I told him, I said, I'm not blind, I saw what happened. So then the woman comes around, she said, nobody touched anybody. And I said, ma'am, I know what. I said, I seen the whole thing. So they kind of back off and simmered down, and then they called the man stayed there and screamed at pretty much the top of his lungs, carrying on something about his son or something that happened. And they went and called somebody. I tried to call the sheriff, but my phone wouldn't work in that vicinity. But anyhow, the sheriff showed up. The sheriff pulled into the neighbor's driveway, which would have been on the north side of the property, and the people that I didn't know at all, that was the neighbors evidently on the north, would have been the south side, excuse me. They went up and started calling the sheriff by his first name. And I told the sheriff that pretty much what happened was Mr. and Mrs. Angel got out of their car and was attacked by them other two people. So, but the sheriff didn't really believe what I said, evidently, because they were there. He was there probably 45 minutes before he ever took written statements from anybody.
What's the sheriff's first name, by the way?
I have no clue.
Okay.
No clue. I don't remember that part. But the sheriff, and he told me that there was an incident, and this was just retaliation on the incident that happened earlier. I said, buddy, I don't know what happened earlier. All I know is when I pulled in here in my truck, those two people were attacked by those two people. And I said, to me, she assaulted her, he assaulted him and her, because they literally, the woman punched Mrs. Edgel, knocking her to the ground. And then the man punched, well, he grabbed a hold of and then punched Mr. Edgel, and then he turned around and punched Mrs. Edgel, knocking her back to the ground.
Okay. What else have you seen after that?
Basically, they were just trying to convince me that I didn't see anything. Nobody hit anybody. But, like I said, the one guy had been drinking because he had a beer in his hand, in which he spilled half of it all over Mr. and Mrs. Edgel during that scuffle. And then he goes in, when the sheriff pulled in, he still had the beer in his hand. And then the sheriff gets out and he starts talking to everyone. And then when I told the sheriff what happened, the sheriff looked at me and says, he don't have a beer in his hand, that's a root beer. I said, let me explain something to you. I said, pull the tape for your cruiser, because when he walked up to you, he had a beer in his hand. He went back in the house and come out with a root beer. So the sheriff didn't believe anything I said.
Okay.
And I did not know Mr. and Mrs. Edgel. I didn't even know their name at that point. These people were total strangers to me. So, I mean, it didn't matter to me what happened. I was a neutral. All I know is when I pulled in, I saw something going on, and I got out, and that's when I saw them two attack Mr. and Mrs. Edgel. And like I said, I did not even know these people. I didn't know their names up to when the sheriff got there.
Okay, that's very good. I want to get back with you again in the future, possibly with some photographs of the different people involved in the incident.
Sure.
Since you didn't know the names, you might be able to remember the faces.
Okay. The gentleman kept saying that they were on his property. I mean, he said this 30 times. And I guess the driveway is a double-access driveway, according to what I understood. But Mr. and Mrs. Edgel was under roof. They were under the metal canopy coming out of their garage.
Okay, so did this entire incident happen underneath their carport?
Yep, you got it.
Okay, were they anywhere near the property lines?
Well, I don't know where the property lines would have been.
But they were definitely under the carport.
Yeah, they were, because when Mrs. Edgel went down, she hit concrete. That's what got her hurt her arm and stuff.
Did you see anybody take any jewelry from her?
toward me. So I don't know when she snatched a hold of her. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, the big lady, did she bring her down all the way to the ground?
Oh, yeah, she knocked her down, yeah.
Did she look like she was bent over, still has physical contact with Kay?
No, not when she was on the ground. Like I said, the big guy was kind of in front of where I was at. When she knocked her down, she, came back up. So I don't know if she had, something in her hands when she hit her, because she grabbed her and punched her. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, but she did go down to the ground, at least to some extent, with Kay.
A little. I've got another beat, sir. I'm sorry.
Okay, we'll call the interview here. If you have any questions, call me back at the phone number I called you at.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Bye.